2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes to tell me something good. So we're about to have our little Thursday morning talk, and I just had a little brief discussion on. Do you like those timers in the front? With countdown timers, or does that waste your time? Because there's only so much time in the day. So I try and make it as short as I possibly can. I think this one is like about 3 seconds. I don't want to take your 3 seconds away though. So let's give you some value. Let me go find Mr. Bo. Where are you? Hey, there you are.
Here I am. Hey, MagicBrad. How art
Got
thou?
a little light do going on.
Today's haircut day. Busy day ahead of me.
Before
I just left a networking meeting. I need to trim it up a bit up there. That's later today. I have Rotary. We have a field trip. Prior to that, I get to go give blood at 10:30. There's something else I'm forgetting, but I'll get there.
Where are you going for your field trip?
Field trip, we're going to a place called Stamp and Storage, Brad, and it's a local business. It started out of a local engineer's garage.
Okay.
Right. It was a side deal. His spouse wanted some kind of storage devices or something for her crafting supplies. So we started whittling with some wood. This is kind of right up your alley, right? You'd love to go in this place. And so he started doing that. And so it's like things that you would find. The basic thing might be at IKEA, but the accessories really just aren't in the marketplace or very well. And so he started this, and then a friend of hers wanted a little help, wanted some things, and started doing that. Ended up leaving his career, starting this, and he employs like 25 people in town. He's got a massive building.
Wow.
They sell, internationally. They have an open house here once in a while, and they sell a bunch here. But it's a fabulous, cool place to go to. And if you like woodworking, you would love it. So check out Stamp and Storage is the name of it online, and I think you'll like what you see.
Stamp and Storage. I'm gonna have to check it out. Yeah, I do like that kind of stuff. People that get creative and innovative with whatever it is they create. It's happening a lot on the internet, but there's physical products that people come up with. That's ingenious.
It is, yeah. And they've got a great website. They sell it online, but they showcase some people that have really kind of made crafting rooms, and their products are kind of featured there. But yeah, it's a neat place. It smells like sawdust. Actually, it's super clean. You go in there and you wouldn't know they do as much woodworking as they do because it's so clean in there. But I've been there once before. I'm excited to go back again. And we bring a lunch in and we talk about Rotary a little bit, but do a field trip. So
I'm going to bring that up to my Rotary group that we should be doing more field trips. We do have a golf tournament for anybody that's interested in golfing. There's going to be a little golf. There's a golf tournament. There's also a golf membership drive where they're going to be going up and doing the meetings up at a golf course up in Andover area.
Good idea.
Quite a trek from you, but it would be fun to do more things. And that's what I'm doing with my business now. I'm getting that event stuff going again. We're going to go out on this cruise on it's going to be the Mississippi River unless we don't get enough people. We're going to shift to Lake Minnetonka. But these things, I think that's the best way to develop relationships in a non-threatening environment where you're just doing something like the AGC does. They throw axes at these things, or they do speakers. Or anyways, our topic today, to segue onto it, I really have no bridge. It's just, this is what it is.
He's got no bridge.
Abundance for life.
Okay.
And for those that don't know, I come up with these topics spontaneously. I don't really plan them out and stuff. I was just sitting around in the morning, and I remember, because I used to teach an Abundance for Life course.
You did?
What's interesting about it, it's a Paul Sheely thing. I bought his program and got all the PowerPoints for it and all the scripting and doing the classes and stuff. And it's pretty cool in that the basic premise is we're all in a trance right now, as we are. And I get it in that when we were born, we started learning things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our beliefs.
Okay.
And when you're about 10, 15 years old, that's what you believe.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to think outside the box of that belief and come up with new ideas. So the abundance concept is outside of that box into infinite potential.
Yep.
And poof, we got a comment here. Who's it from?
Who we have?
Our friend Cindy Lee. What is your favorite elevator speech for mailbox power? I have a breakfast meat.
Cindy could probably teach us that.
That's right.
Right? Boy, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to put it. You can go on a long elevator ride up to the top of the Empire State Building and talk for days about it, or you can.
When I tell people about it is, it's a software platform that allows the user to send postcards, greeting cards, and personalized gifts using the United States Postal Service. And I say that a postcard lasts considerably longer than a click.
There you go, Cindy. I'm not going to outdo
That's kind of what I tell people.
Yeah.
And they still don't get it.
Nope. It is it's an experiential kind of thing, right? Program. You need to experience it to actually really appreciate what it can do.
And the analogy I like to use is a car. A car, you put the key in the ignition, you start it up, put it in drive and go. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of other stuff inside of it. And you really don't need to know that. But people tend to ask, so is this a 4-wheel drive? Hey, does it have power steering? Hey, is there an air conditioner? Hey, it's not relevant.
It's not relevant. To some, it's very important, right? And to some, it absolutely is not.
Yeah. Here she says, I'll share my, she's going to send us an email with her picture.
All right.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yes. Your topic today, I'm a fan of abundance, a fan of sharing, a fan of that mentality. I'm not a huge fan of the scarcity mentality of, I've got a great idea, but I better not share it with you because it might benefit you more than me. So I'm just going to hold it tight and keep it a secret. That does not work well for me.
Especially in today's global environment of competition. Do you know how many people are, how many chiropractors there are on the planet? So you don't want to give away your chiropractic secret.
Right. Right. And that's something that when we talk about what she brought up, the mailbox power, right? It's a platform that we use to say thank you, to prospect, to reach out to people, to show gratitude, a lot of different things, stay top of mind, stand out from competition, retain more clients, all of those things drive revenue. But I've used it strategically in business and it works. And if I had a scarcity mentality, I wouldn't want to share that with another person in my field because I'd be afraid they're going to use the same method to keep their client or get more clients, right? But I'm glad I'm not wired that way to say, I better not share, whether it be peers from my same company or my competition in town. If they need a system that does a better job, I'm happy to share.
Well, you and I both promote this system, and you know that sometimes you sit and you talk with somebody, it's like talking to a wall. They don't quite get it. So I'm not really concerned if someone, everybody's using mailbox power now for their business and personal gifts. That ain't going to happen because
this is
other options.
If the goal of the company, right, is to obviously grow and become more of a household name in the direct marketing space, along with the gifting space, right, personalized gifting. They have some very unique tech, and it's the one place that kind of just gets it all done. But let's give an example, right? Some people just don't get it. Right. They have transactional relationships. They process the payment, they sell something, and then they just move on. They don't really worry about trying to build a stronger relationship, right? Those people are hard to talk into using a system like this. Or not to convince, but just to see the true value of that, right? Others, it's like they get it right away. I was speaking to a fellow agent in actually my old home state of Iowa, and a guy I met through an online group where we share ideas. We try to help each other build better insurance agencies, even though we're from different companies, right? And him and I talked offline, and he said he had met with a client that he basically inherited, right? He took over an agency. He didn't earn the business in the beginning, but he's trying to retain the business. Went and met with this client, and they had this, 50-something Cadillac or some really nice, cool old car. The person's proud of it, no doubt about it, right? And has the privilege to insure it. And this person gets our system because they said when they left there, they just wanted to do more. Like, what can I do to say that I am interested, I am appreciative, besides even a handwritten note, which is always thoughtful, right? What can I do? And he said, I almost stopped at the store and bought like a Matchbox car with as close of a match as I could find to that. And was just going to drop it in the mail, right? We like puffy mail, right? Stuff that's got things in it.
Yeah.
And send it to them or drop it off at their place or whatever, and just said, I saw this and thought of you. Thanks for your continued trust or loyalty, right? Great idea. But immediately became, this is a process. Man, I got to go to the store. I got to go search for this thing. Then I got to box it up. I got to go to the post office. So that great idea, that great intention just ended.
That kind of goes into our topic of abundance here, in that time is limited. There's not an abundance of time. There's only 24 hours in each day.
Right.
Well, how are you going to create, do the most you can do that fulfills your life and have the freedom to do what you want, where you want, and really enjoy your life and have some fun.
Right.
Unless you're just going to the post office and having to get stamps and packages and all that stuff and take up your whole day. And, hey, honey, we going to go to that art fair?
Yeah.
I ain't got time. I got to go to the post office. I got to get all that.
Right.
No.
And look at, and in this situation, there's also that quick thread of, is this a terrible idea? You start second guessing yourself, like, hey, I think it might be cool, but is he going to think this is totally tacky? Is this ridiculous? So you just stop it. You find a reason to say no, because it's a process. It's too hard. So we talked about that. I said, hey, I'll give you an example on a car that I had that the insured was restoring with his dad before his dad passed away. He's sharing the story. It's a heartfelt story. It's sad. And I asked him to send me a picture, text me a picture of the car, right? Beautiful 50-something Cadillac with a bunch of chrome. It was gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
And it took me less than 2 minutes to create a greeting card that had that picture on the cover.
Right.
The inside of the card had another picture of the car. And then in the inside, I was able to have it typed, printed, and sent. And it said, Robert, there's no doubt your dad would be extremely proud of you and the way this turned out. And now we created an emotional bond, right? It's a different place. But I didn't have to go stuff an envelope. I didn't have to go print anything. I didn't have to go to the post office. I was able to create it in a couple minutes, have it sent to him, and 5-6 days later when he got it, I brought him to tears. And it solidified the relationship and the account, and he's not interested in shopping and leaving. That's taking it to a different level. That's having an abundance mentality. The fact that I'm even willing to share the idea with people in my space or competitors, say, you might want to do this. Stop being
that's where you got to think outside the box or without a box. And they say that that your mind is like a parachute. It works best when it's open.
Yeah, love that. I just saw that the other day. Had to share it. I love it. You got to have an open mind.
Like getting creative with the artwork that you put on it. Like I just did this one. Let me see if I can find it here.
Let me see.
This one. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I just put this together, and it's got a lot of the collaborative members that I put on, and I promote all these people. So there's the cruise company that I do. There's your thing, Better Appreciation, and the popcorn lady in Las Vegas tonight. So getting creative with these things, that QR code, the way that I designed that, and I'm willing to share all these ideas, you scan that QR code, and it takes you to what's called a URL rotator. So every time they can scan that, it takes them to one of my members, my vendors. And that way it's an evergreen card. It'll last every day you scan it. It'll be something new.
Yeah, that's cool.
Keep that card. Instead of a click that lasts like a second, this card, you put it up on your desk or wherever and say, I wonder what's happening today. Scan that, takes you right to a different web page with a new resource.
I love it.
Very resourceful.
Very resourceful as a resource. So look at that. I have to share this about QR codes, because we talk about this on occasion, right? We love the resurgence of those. There's one thing that this last couple of years has done is it's like reinvented those, right? Made them popular again at every restaurant and everything like that, right? So we love them. So I struggle to get reviews for my agency, even though we think people like us, right? We take care of people, but we still don't ask well enough. And when we ask, we don't always get the answer, right? We don't get them to do it. So I'd gone a few months without it. And I'm working with this outside company that's helping me for my reputation management and la-di-da-di-da-di. And the guy says, hey, we're going to meet again in May or June. But in the meantime, have you considered a QR code in your office that people can scan and take them right to the Google landing page to make a review? And it's amazing because here I am, a big fan of QR codes. I understand marketing, and how had I not thought of that? But thankfully, the guy shared that with me. But then here's where I went to the next step. We have stick-ups, right? We have metal frames. So I ordered stick-ups. And for those that are watching, so don't know what a stick-up is, it's basically a fabric sticker that's re-stickable, that doesn't leave a residue on anything, and it can really go on about anything, right? If it gets dirty, you just literally wash it off, the sticky stuff, and it works again.
You can learn more here.
I ordered a 4-pack of stick-ups, and I couldn't remember how big they'd be. Well, like a lot of things I do, it's to compensate for my small stature. I do everything kind of big. So I get this, poster thing rolled up, and I open up, and I got these 4 gigantic QR codes on the stick-ups. And my coworker just made fun of me, right? Like, could they be any bigger? Like, you can see them from space, right? And but I'm like, well, let's work with this. I could have got one huge one or 16 little ones, but I have 4 for now. So there's not a good place to put them. Like, it's too big to put even on the desk. So we put them on the back of our, when somebody sits down at either of our desks, this is just me and one of my coworkers, and actually 2 of the coworkers. When you sit at our desk, you can kind of see the back of our monitors. So we took these QR codes and we stuck them on the back of a monitor, right? And people can't help but ask, what is that?
Sure.
Right? So it opens the door without you even having to say anything. Hey, actually, as a matter of fact, grab your phone, will you? Scan that. That's going to land you on our Google page. We'd love a review. It really helps our business. So within 24 hours of putting these things on the back of my deal and having a few of them laying around, I got a new review. It's really effective. So using the same system we have, right? Taking somebody else's great idea, saying, I don't want to just print it and have it be a loose piece of paper with a QR code. I want it to look good. And I want to be able to maybe move that around or whatever. So isn't that slick? Like,
it is.
And now I think about all the businesses that are failing to get reviews. This is one great way. They could print a 16-pack, I think it is, of QR codes that fit on basically the back of a cell phone. So they can always have access. And you have to take people, remove all the barriers for them to do the job, right? And a lot of our phones were already all logged into Google. So if you scan it, you don't have to go in. Some people do, right? But I'm ordering new ones for my phone. And if I have that interaction that's positive, I'm going to just say, please scan this and do this for me. And you either do it right now or it's still in your browser, right? So like you'd have to clear it out rather than complete the task. And you kind of feel guilty, like, I better do this for him, right? So I'm about to blow up reviews because I'm going to make the process easy. So yeah, it
does have to be easy because you can ask someone, would you give me a review? And they go, okay, what's your Google page?
Right. Nope. The link, either the hyperlink or the QR code has to take you directly to the landing. I don't want to have to click anywhere else. Now, if I have to log in, you're probably never going to get me. And that's okay. I run that risk. I could take them to Facebook, but those reviews or recommendations aren't near as valid or valuable. So, yeah.
And people in the event industry, Travis uses them now.
Yeah.
With the AGC events. And a person that's the way that these things work now. You get your tickets and you walk up to the guy and they scan it, go beep.
Yep.
That's kind of what's going on with all this stuff. I mean,
we saw that with the, we had the AGC event, right? And I had a QR code on a metal print that took people to a landing page where I could collect their name and address, so I could send them an item, right? And
did that autofill? Do you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it took them right in. So I sent out I had it tied to an automation, and I think I had 8 different packages go out the next day. One of them that received it, he's a guy that Marquise. I don't know if you know him, but he is one of the sales reps for the space that we were in, right? Prince's old building. He works for that company. So him and I were talking about. He's like, "Wow, this is really pretty slick." And I said, "You know what? The best way to know what it's about is you got to experience it. So scan the code, and just so you know, I will not do anything. I've already done the legwork. It took me like 5 minutes. And it's set up, and you're going to get something in the mail." Well, he gets something in the mail, and he felt compelled. He made a video. And he did an unboxing, right? I didn't ever ask for that, but he's like, "This is amazing." Put my name right on it, and I put my name on the brownies. And so he said, "I've shared this out to people because I want them to know there's a solution out there that can make this process easy." And so isn't that cool? Like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I just did cards that has their name print merch on there.
Yes.
And then it says here.
Yes. Oh, there it is again. Yeah.
And it merges right in there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. The I can't remember what something print merge. I don't know. You're seeing more and more of that in the marketplace, right? I'm seeing colleges use certain, let me get your name on it, because we know how important your name is to you.
They're also going beyond the name. They're going and using the added fields where it ends up being topic. So when you send something to somebody and it says, hey, I was just calling you about, and like for your example, homeowners insurance versus car insurance, it would be relevant. The postcard would be relevant. It's like, I told him 40 times I don't want him to be insuring our house.
Yeah.
And then you get something about car insurance. It goes, well, that's different.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you can be very specific and very targeted. I was talking to a family member of mine who's involved in a business, right? And their goal is to get in front of contractors and offer solution for financing for home projects, right? Mm-hmm. So I said, how are you doing it? How are you connecting with my local heating and cooling company in town to let them know that you're even an option in their place that can make the funding get done easier, right? Along with kickbacks. Right. So there's incentives for the owners to recommend the platform. How are you doing this? Well, we go to trade shows and we do this and stuff. Right. So he's probably watching this right now. He wants to choke me out. But all of those things are necessary. But the reality is that direct mail can be really effective. And so we talked about that. I'm like, yeah, do you understand that like this system has integrated a list builder and you can buy a list of all SIC codes that are contractors. And then you can have that automated to send a card every 3 weeks for the next 6 months. And you don't have to babysit it. And oh, yeah, by the way, you can use QR codes and find out if they're actually clicking them or something. Like, do you understand that? And it's just like, we found different systems, but none that did all of the things you just explained in one. Aha.
Yeah, that's, I think it's got the Mailbox Power, again, props for it, because it's got the things that you need to create a more abundant life. It's got the list builder. I just had the guy at my Rotary event. He was talking to everybody and he said, does anybody have a list of businesses in Fridley? I go, well, sure.
Right.
Go in List Builder and get them. You can find exactly who you want. And then the print merge function, I think, is amazing to be able to merge people's names into relevant places. And then the automations behind it so that once you go to a trade show, someone scans it in, it automatically sends them a campaign of things. So I think there's with the theme of abundance, this will let you recapture the time that you might spend doing all these tasks. Because tasks, they just take all your time.
Yeah.
We've gone for 22 minutes, buddy.
Yeah, we could go on for days about it. But I think you brought up I got my internet just got a little choppy, but you do bring up a really good point. In this whole that time is not endless, right? I mean, we only have so much time in a day. And so if a system can not only have the success that it has, but it also can save you time because of the automations, you get that back, that's incredible.
Well, what's the craziest thing, with my background in the trade show industry, I used to exhibit in shows as well. And sometimes when I would leave the booth, I would get more people coming to see the booth because they didn't want to talk to anybody. Yeah. So if there was a QR code there and they go, oh, it's this, and they scan it, and then they just push the button, it puts it, now it's automated. You could just set up your trade show display and not even be there. Yeah. And let people walk by and scan codes. You could just put a whole back wall of codes,
Yeah. Just scan from anywhere.
Element, but maybe the postcard they receive is an invitation to buy them dinner.
Yeah. It's just a matter of like, what I need to do is a little, split testing, right? Which is more effective, right? A QR code that takes you to the website, a QR code that takes you to I need your mailbox, name and address so I can start sending you items. Is it a QR code to a private video that introduces yourself and what you might be wanting to talk about? Like, you know what I mean? So just to test and see which is really the best that's going to lead to someone actually taking action. I don't know.
I'd go back and forth with the whole split testing thing. That's a whole nother conversation. To me, the cost of 40 cents to send a postcard, it's like, even if it didn't work, they saw it.
Yeah. Right.
And if you didn't get there, the post office sends it back and lets you delete it so you don't make that mistake again. Right. Whereas with the internet, you can split test all these things, but you don't know if people are actually looking at it or if it just happened to be. I do email broadcasts and it says opened, but I send the broadcast when I wake up at 2:30 in the morning. I don't think they opened it. I think they were sleeping.
You would hope.
I think it's robots. We could go on forever. We can
go on for all day.
I have an abundance of ideas. It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing your ideas and your time.
I appreciate
it's
you
limited.
appreciating.
25 minutes you lost to me today, and I appreciate that. Can't get it back.
I'll mail it to you. Okay,
Awesome.
we'll talk later, buddy.
See you, buddy.
Holy moly, we always have something to talk about because there's so many different ideas, and just using the postal service to deliver your message. They're just communication, which is all the internet really is. It's a method of communication. It just happens to be lots of different ways. I'm out of here. That's all I got to say. People tell me that I'm supposed to be nice when I say be nice. Be nice. I got to be assertive. I am nice.